Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for? I watch people get stuck in Frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck in Frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. We got amazing people. We're a little bit behind. We're going to catch up. Let's go. Who we got?
Well, we have a new addition named Zachary Kramer that's in from Short Hills, New Jersey, in the house today.
Woo!
Go on.
He is with Progressive Payment Solutions, and he specializes in low-cost credit card processing. So welcome, Zachary.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Zachary, what's happening, man? How about a fun fact, my friend?
Fun fact. Oh, boy. Fun fact is I used to actually live in Tampa, Florida, and now I am in New Jersey, and I regret it.
Zachary, come on, man. The great state of New Jersey. Bruce Springsteen is heartbroken. Frank Sinatra rolling over his grave. We'll talk about that later. But welcome, Zachary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Vivian, we got more.
Yeah, we have Andrew Blackman in from New York City.
How do you do, Sean?
Andrew, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Amazing. Let's hear it, Viv.
Partner at Shulman Lobo Zand, Katzen, Williams, and Blackman, a New York City CPA firm. Very schooled man. He got his BSBA in accounting from Boston U and an MBA taxation, graduating not only with honors and a magna cum laude from Farley Dickinson U. From there, he went to New York City, California, and Jersey as a CPA, and even went into financial forensics at some point, only to boomerang to what he loves most, which is to manage, develop, and boost the business side of the firm, which he's with, and doing so among top TV talent, artists, musicians, authors, photogs, models, and athletes. Andrew's leadership led to a snowball of accolades, Sean. Best financial advisors by Worth. Accounting Today said Andrew Blackman is one of 50 names to know in financial planning. So wow. Welcome, Andrew Blackman.
Andrew, you're a straight up rock star. How you doing, man?
Thank you for that introduction, Viv.
Andrew, what's your fun fact, man? How are you?
Okay, since you're mentioning the boss and Frank Sinatra, I guess my fun fact would be I've been to live music concerts over the past 7 decades.
Whoa, I love that. Who was your first concert, Andrew?
Miami Pop Festival, December 29th, 1968.
Boom.
Saw Joni Mitchell and Graham Nash perform together with Richie Havens. John Mayall was on the bill. The Grateful Dead, my favorite band of all time. Steppenwolf. It was an experience.
Were you born to be wild, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Mars Bonfire on lead guitar.
So, Andrew, can we ask a question?
Go ahead.
Did it smell a little bit interesting at that 1968 concert?
Oh, yes, except I didn't know what it was at that point. I learned soon, but at that point, I didn't know. I was like 15 years old.
That's amazing. So you bring Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild. You bring up beautiful memories from high school athletics. My high school came out for 68. They've been coming out for 53 years to Born to be Wild with the same wrestling coach. The wrestling coach that was there when I was in high school in the 80s, I graduated 88. He came to work there in the late 60s, and he has been the coach ever since. And they've been coming out to Born to be Wild since the late 60s. So it's been extraordinary.
Right. Late 60s is the right time. That's when the song came out.
Yeah, ever since. So for 4 years, we'd run out, lights out, ready to go. So, and we're ready to go here today, Andrew. So thanks so much for being here.
Do you want to know what my first concert was, Sean?
What was that?
Air Supply.
Air Supply? Do you know any Air Supply songs, Vivian, or no?
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Vivian, I'm still here. It's okay.
I know, it's so true, but
thank you for everything. Amazing. We got some judges for Andrew and Zachary. Who we got?
You were mentioning weird smells, which brought me to our next judge, Elizabeth Allen, in from Dallas, Texas.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. How's everybody?
Elizabeth, amazing. So Vivian, why are you referencing smells related to Elizabeth?
Well, she happens to be a consultant and a coach for the cannabis world, and she writes.
How about that
the
segue with Andrew? How about that segue? I bet you that she would have been wanting to like hang out and work that event. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Vivian. Yes.
And yeah, so she works also as a realtor in addition to writing for Canna Investor magazine, and she does that all in Grand Estates Realty in Dallas, Texas. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. And what's a fun fact related to this amazing world that you're existing in?
A fun fact amazing to this world is I sort of fell into the cannabis industry trying to help one of my sisters who was diagnosed with cancer. So ended up never believed in the cannabis or anything like that, but we visited a grow facility and ended up in the room where all the plants were, speaking of smells. So that was my first introduction to being right next to a cannabis plant that was almost 6 feet tall, or about 30 of them.
That is extraordinary. Well, thank you for that fun fact. May I share my fun fact? And by the way, I hope that your sister is doing okay.
She's no longer with us, but I'm still in the industry in her honor.
Oh, well, I'm sorry for that.
No worries. But what's your fun fact?
So my fun fact is that my first introduction into the space we are describing was I was 5 years old, and I went to a Mets game. And after the Mets game, I came home and I told my parents were divorced when I was 1. And I came home and told my grandmother, I'm like, you know what, Grandma Rose, this is so interesting. Dad and Felicia, you know what they do? You know what they do, Vivian?
What did they do?
They make their own cigarettes.
What? I love that. Oh my God. I was in Prague in like a Michelin star.
So my Grandma Rose is like, what? I'm like, yeah, they make their own cigarettes. And so, yes, Grandma Rose was not pleased that my dad and Felicia were making their own cigarettes when they took me to a Mets game. But yes, back to Prague.
I mean, it was the same kind of like, I can't believe anybody rolls cigarettes. So like my first experience with that was at a Michelin star restaurant in Prague. No, it was in Vienna, sorry. And and we were sitting there, we closed down shop. I fell in love with the son of the restaurant, and he was an artist. He created all these paintings. Next thing you know, we were having endless bottles of champagne. It was my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my husband, and I, the 4 of us, at 3 o'clock in the morning as we had arrived, and he was rolling his own cigars, and I was there smoking, Sean.
Vivian.
I know.
Vivian.
He was like, I was just in the moment.
How about my fun fact is I've never, ever smoked any kind of marijuana, cannabis, anything. So I have never, ever had a narcotic substance in my life, but I do eat a lot of sugar. So Vivian, we got more judges.
Have you ever gotten high secondhand from just smoke inhalation anywhere nearby?
No. It's a longer story for a different day, but actually, no.
I know. I'm going into the Unblinded at night right now. Let's bring it back to daytime. In from Oklahoma, we have Shannon Spear in the house.
Oh.
She's also friends of Elizabeth. Shannon went from administrative director for a natural gas compression manufacturer to first deputy with Okfuskee County treasurer to a member of Tulsa's leading surgery team. Today, Shannon is agency owner at Farmers Insurance in Okemah, Oklahoma. And her goal is not only to offer insurance products to her community, but to offer investments and retirement plans. She's also a founding member of Oklahoma's Young Entrepreneurs, and it sits on many boards like the Okemah Chamber of Commerce and Holdenville Chamber of Commerce. So welcome, Shannon Spear.
Shannon, big things in entrepreneurial leadership. Thank you for being here. So what's like causing the dynamic of entrepreneurial leadership to be inside of you and to be like exploding outward? So what's up?
Well, my fun fact is that I started my career with Elizabeth in Dallas, and she was instrumental in getting me up to speed where I needed to be for my management experience. When I moved back to rural Oklahoma, there's not a lot of that there's just not a lot of availability for mentors. Everyone who's a business owner is a small business owner, and so they're doing it completely on their own. We live in a town currently of about 2,500 to 3,000 people, and the same businesses have been on Main Street for 100 years. So between my sister-in-law and I, we just really wanted to do something for the town that's going to not only help our business, but help the community. So we started the Young Entrepreneurs Group to bring more businesses to our small town, make some different training things available for people who are wanting to get started, just kind of be a resource for those people so that our community can grow.
That's extraordinary. Well, you have come to the right house. We have much to say about that. Vivian, in our language, of course, Shannon created an extraordinary ecosystem in which she has hierarchical primacy and she's a leader. And of course, that does amazing things in contribution for her. And of course, it does, I'm sure, outstanding things for your business as well. Is that fair, Shannon?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Great job. And how about a fun fact?
Well, my fun fact is that I am currently working. Elizabeth has actually come here and done some training for us. The cannabis industry, and I know this probably isn't meant to be cannabis related, it's just all kind of rolling that way. It's blowing up here in Oklahoma. So I am transitioning our PNC agency. I'm a farmer's agent. We're transitioning and we're actually doing more cannabis business now than we are property and casualty insurance on our personal line side. There are grow houses popping up all over the place. So in a town with 5 other insurance agents, I'm the only one currently that is able to insure any of the cannabis people that we have moving in from California, New York. They're coming from everywhere, and we're writing all of them. So we're getting real familiar.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Do you do any life insurance work or no?
We do, and that was kind of going to be our main focus when we started out, was going to be life, annuities, investments, things like that. And we got in with the cannabis industry via Elizabeth early enough on that there was only one carrier in the state that would even see to it. So Elizabeth actually invited us to a convention that she was attending. We made some good contacts, and that has taken off so quickly and so well that we've actually kind of, the investments and everything else have kind of taken a back seat to that, but we're definitely looking to grow. The average insurance agency in Oklahoma has, 2 to 3 people. We want to be a team of 30 by the end of the year so that we can have, 2 or 3 people per product so that we can grow and actually be one of the top agencies in the state.
Yeah. So one of, so just as an example, one of our Unblinded Elite members, dear friend of mine, Rob Gill, that we often talk about, went from 8 sales meetings per month to 600 sales meetings each of the last 2 months through the mechanisms we're talking about. Grew his team to 19 people from 5 in about a year. So loads to talk about. You're in the right place. Thank you for being here, Shannon, and love the energy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Vivian.
We have in from Smyrna Beach, Florida, Carol Dewey in the house.
Shark attack capital of the United States of America. Fun fact.
Fun fact, New Smyrna Beach is a little drinking town with a shark problem.
Yes, that is absolutely. So Vivian, how about that? That we drop yes, shark attack capital like that. Boom.
With a shark problem. I love it. Carol is a financial advisor, speaker, and author. She went from being co-owner of an auto body shop to founder and investor at Perpetual Wealth Financial for nearly 15 years. And she knows how to make money and keep it, which is why, as a financial advisor and author and speaker, she helps entrepreneurs on an educational level, putting the focus on strategies to propel their businesses forward. The way she sees it, building wealth is not complex, nor is it about putting money in the stock market to watch it grow. No, it's about simplification, optimization, profit margins, and minimizing risk to optimize cash flow. So welcome, Carol Dewey.
Carol, how are you doing?
We're a little chilly here today this morning, as we were talking about. Bella is visiting our nice state and is a little confused about the weather today, but it'll warm up. It'll warm up.
Gotcha.
You might have just given away my secret. I could see you go, did she just say Bella?
Yes, I'm like, she did just say Bella. So,
I'm sitting here all quiet. It was the surprise.
Hello, Bella Verita. You're
Hello,
back. Your 9-day vacation.
Yes. Hello.
And you're in New Smyrna Beach?
I am in Tallahassee, but it's like when I went to go to the gym this morning, there was ice on my windshield.
That is definitely very confusing.
Yes. But I heard we were talking about cannabis today, so I said I gotta jump on.
Yes, whatever I was saying before, Bella is the opposite, I think. So,
Yes.
right. So yes, that is there. So Carol, thank you for being here. We will share that New Smyrna Beach, while being the shark attack capital of the United States, also there's like virtually no fatalities. So there, the sharks kind of nip you and like you put a Band-Aid on and you go back surfing, Bella. So you would be safe to surf in New Smyrna Beach. Since, by the way, I think a blind guy taught you to surf.
A blind guy did teach me how to surf, and he taught me how to ski.
That is
and I
but
feel
he
like there
did
was
not.
something else.
He did not teach you how to make your own cigarettes.
No, I'll probably teach him that someday.
Well, Carol, thank you so much for being here, Carol.
And of course, Bella Verita, our sales gangster in the house, built a multiple 7-figure real estate company, becoming the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She places more women salespeople than anyone else in the country at Alliance Sales, where she happens to be CEO, baby. Welcome, Bella.
Woo!
Bella Verita, how are you? By the way, have you ever made your own cigarette?
Oh, yes. I have made my own cigarettes. I've made my own joints. I've made my own blunts. Yes. I used to be a drug dealer. Remember, Sean?
I have forgotten this fun fact. So what is your fun fact for today, Bella?
Well, that would be, so I used to be in the cannabis business way before cannabis was legal. When I was in high school, I went from like being a high school dropout, selling drugs, to being one of the most influential people in sales. But my first job in sales was in the cannabis business, way before cannabis was legal.
Well, congratulations, Bella Verita. Thank you for being here. And I am so sorry that it's like cold in Florida. And here's what it looks like in New Jersey. So there's plenty of snow and other things, but at least you do not have snow.
Oh, it's so pretty though. I love snow.
Doesn't it look quite nice out there? Yes.
It is. It's beautiful.
So amazing. Thank all of you fine folks for being here. Zachary, Andrew, Elizabeth, Shannon, Carol.
Tilt your screen down a little bit.
Oh, thank
See
you
your
very
face
much.
anymore.
Oh, yes. So
There we
Vivian,
Yes.
what are we doing here?
You mean here on The Real Raw?
Yes.
We are here to showcase the magic of the formula that you curated for the past 23 years. So the aim for everybody that's here is really just to step onto the stage, grab the microphone, share your authentic self with the hotbed of talent that's in front of you, and align your purpose with others in an organic way in order to form ecosystems. And maybe you'll form vertical ecosystems here. Just like that, you'll make more magic in less time with more money. And Sean will help you see how influence is a superpower. And who is Sean? Sean Callaghy is only one of 2 lawyers out of 1.2 million in America to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, and the only one that is blind. He's also one of the top influencers in the world who appears on national TV. And of course, he's Chief Visionary Officer here at Unblinded. And he's the best of the best. And I love him. That's Sean.
Love you too, Vivian. Thank you so much. It's all a formula, right? That's it. It's a mechanism of science. Loving people unconditionally. Our mission here at Unblinded is to lead leaders to merge ecosystems, to create relationships that are 1 + 1 = 1 trillion, or at least more than 10, to make the world an even greater place. Sounds hyperbolic, but when I was 27 years old, I started my own law firm on a credit card, no relationship capital whatsoever, no idea what I was doing, 6 months out of law school, quitting my dream job. And it was remarkable to me how fast things can happen. And that's why it's inspirational to have all of you folks here. I love hearing Shannon's story and energy and what she's creating in the world. And Carol, and oh my goodness, Elizabeth, everybody, Andrew, Zachary, let's rock and roll. So Vivian, mwah, we love you. Thank you for everything. And the sales sorceress is back in the house. It's like the band is back together.
I love seeing the joy and happiness on your face. Like that's what it was on. I was like texting Adam and I was like, do you think I should surprise Sean today? And yeah,
I am surprised and I am grateful. So welcome back. We're ready to rock and roll, Bella. You ready?
I am ready.
So who's going first today?
Ooh, I think Andrew should go first today.
Andrew, Bella's back and she threw you right under the bus.
I didn't throw throw him under the bus, John. Like, I believe he looks like a master. Like, I feel like he can show up, like, lead the way and like pave the way for Mr. Zachary. So this is not about being under the bus. This is about leadership.
Yes, he's gonna have his like internal Lewis and Clarkness unleashed. The adventure begins. Andrew, are you ready, my friend?
So we're going to go from A to Z, I see.
Yes, we're going to go from A to Z. So Bella Verita will be anybody you like her to be, because of course, influence, heart-centered, integrous influence is in fact a superpower. And it always beats the forces of darkness. We'll explain that a little bit later. So Bella will be herself. She could be an ideal client avatar or any specific person you want. So like, yeah, she could be like a client, a potential strategic alliance partner, whomever you'd like. This is all about what does that look like to go from hello to yes. We don't put on our pitch, hook, close, funnel hat, and instead we create a relationship with a person. We reveal truth, add value, and get a yes. So Andrew, who would you like Bella to be?
Well, she could pick any performing or creative artist that she would like, because those are my bread and butter clients.
Awesome.
I don't know which one she'd feel most comfortable slipping into the skin of, but
Did you say entertainment?
yeah, performing and creative artists are my bread and butter. Musicians, actors, actresses, writers, directors.
I think Bella is all of those things. So Bella,
Yes,
who would you like
I
to
would
be?
love to be an actress. I would love to be an actress.
All right. So you want to pick one, or we're going to be like Bella the actress?
Ooh, can I be Julia Roberts?
Sure.
All right. Andrew, Julia Roberts is in the house. It's going to be a 6-minute conversation. You're going to get cut off because Julia might just get a phone call halfway in between. And judges, in the first round, we're looking for like the opening of listening from Andrew to Julia and like connection. Like, what does it look like? And then we're going to like give a little bit of feedback, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Andrew, are you ready, my friend?
Sure.
All right. Julia, take us in, please.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good, Julia. How are you? I understand your agent says you're looking for a new business manager, and that's why we're speaking today. So I'd
Yes,
like
sir.
to know a little bit about what about your past relationship is causing you to look for new representation today.
That's a really great question. Thank you so much for asking. I've been with the same business manager for quite some time, and sometimes it's time to like change things up a bit. I'm starting to see some things that maybe aren't fitting well, and I think he's about to retire anyway. And I don't necessarily trust like the team. I'm not really super comfortable with the team, so I'm just kind of checking out my options and seeing what else is available for me.
Well, I could tell you that even though I'm probably getting up there in years myself, most of the people that are around me, I've been working with for 10 years or more. And I've been training them, and they are learning from me. And I think if you work with us, you'll learn that you're not only going to work with me, you're going to feel comfortable with my team. They're going to care about you. They're going to want to know about what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy, and deliver to you what it is you're looking for. We'll take good care of your money. We're trustworthy. I have been in this business for over 40 years. Never had a client leave for any kind of reason that would be anything other than they changed careers, they moved. I tend to have very longevity with my clientele. And I'd hope that when we form a relationship, the same would be true with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. What do you think it is about you that has enabled you to have such long-standing relationships with some of your clients?
Well, I'm meticulous. I pay attention to detail. I'm empathetic. I develop trust. Clients enjoy working with me because I don't beat around the bush. If something is not right for them to invest in, some car is not right to buy, some house is not right to buy, I'm going to tell them that. I'm not going to feed into their wants and desires if they're not appropriate.
Yeah, sounds like you are a very honest businessman. I've got to take a quick call right now, Andrew, but I would love to come back to this conversation in a few minutes. May I call you back?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Put
thank you
some
so much.
questions and come back to me, and I'll hopefully be able to have all the answers you need.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
So Andrew, how is it rolling with Julia Roberts? Like, how is that for you?
I've always loved Julia Roberts. Think she's a great actress, and I'd love to represent her.
Amazing. We'll see how round 2 goes. Excellent work. Bella, are you ready for Zachary?
I am ready for Zachary. Let's do this, my friend.
All right, Zachary, who would you like Bella to be?
I would like Bella to be a dentist.
Ooh, Julia Roberts to dentist, like Pretty Woman to dentist. Like, here we go. Right. So you ready, Bella?
I am ready.
All right, take us in.
Hi, Zachary. It's Bella. How are you?
Hi, Bella. I'm good.
Dr. Bella.
Dr. Bella, how are you today?
I am extraordinary. How are you?
I'm good. I just got off the phone with the bank, and they said that you went to them because you were interested in switching credit card providers. Is that true?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions on why you were thinking of making a change?
Absolutely.
Okay. So my first question is, what prompted you to go to the bank and ask them if they had a new credit card provider for you?
Yeah. So I learned long ago, if you ask for what you want, you might be able to get it. And I know, how credit cards work. And, if you start looking somewhere else, then either they'll give you a better deal or who you were with will give you a better deal. So I am looking for who can give me the best deal. And I really value and appreciate customer service as well.
Okay. So if I understand this correctly, you're looking for the best price, and you also are looking for a very good customer service.
That is correct.
Okay. So if I'm able to cut down your rates and also promise to you that we have very good customer service, would you be interested in making a change in credit card processors?
Yeah, what is it about, like, your credit card process? And I'm curious how the bank gave you my information, and so yeah, so just like I'm curious how that works.
Yeah, so we offer something called cash discounting, which is where you can now legally pass the credit card fee over to your consumer so that you as a business no longer have to pay those fees. So, typically you're paying roughly around 3 to 3.5% on credit card fees. That's all going to go back into your pocket. So your revenue is going to increase instantly by over 3%. And that's really our bread and butter.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Now, how come you guys are able to do that? I haven't heard of this before.
So it's a very new product. It was actually against federal guidelines to do this.
Yeah, I thought that was illegal.
Yeah, until 2016, when the Durbin Act came into place. And what that states is you're allowed to offer a quote unquote discount for cash.
Got it. Hey, Zachary, I got to take a quick call right now, but give me a few minutes and I'll call you right back.
Sure, sounds good. Speak to you soon.
Okay.
Zachary, throwing the Durbin Act out, Dr. Bella, outstanding. And yes, how was that round for you, Zachary?
It felt pretty good. I felt like, I haven't done this before, so I felt like I was a little on the spot and I missed a couple sales techniques that I'm used to doing, but felt pretty smooth for the most part.
All right. Well, we'll see what the judge have to say. Excellent work, my friend. Let's start with the one and only Elizabeth. What do you got? So 30 seconds of feedback, starting for Andrew, like 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, and then a score on a scale of 1 to 10, please.
Absolutely. I gave him an 8 for his score. And what I liked about him is he asked permission. I'm sorry, I'm the wrong person. He engaged the host within the first 8 seconds to ask her open-ended questions to get her to open up and start talking. He was able to play off of that and pick up on her points for what she was looking for in a manager, and was able to have a natural sounding conversation that could land him the opportunity to be her manager.
Nice. Excellent work. And what did you have, please, Elizabeth, for Zachary?
With Zachary, he started going in. He asked a few yes/no questions in the beginning, and he seemed to hesitate a little bit more in the beginning, and he could have engaged her better to have more of a conversation versus the yes/no. And she had to start asking him questions to pull out information about his company from him. So to be more natural sounding and give his points up front would help. And I give him a 6.
Nice. Thank you for that, Elizabeth.
Ooh, Elizabeth's tough.
Yes. And now let's go to the entrepreneurial gangster. Shannon, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. And so what do we have, starting with Andrew, please?
Yes, starting with Andrew, very seasoned, very well versed. He heard her concerns and addressed them. One of her main concerns being that, her agent was getting ready to retire. He addressed that and also positioned it so that should not be a concern of hers. I specifically liked how he was going into, without hesitation, what he could do for her. Might have been a little bit, tooting his own horn in a sense, but definitely I think every single one of the things he said addressed concerns that she laid out.
And your score is?
I give him an 8.
Nice. And how about for Zachary?
Zachary, kind of the same thing that Elizabeth mentioned, lots of open-ended questions that would just give them a reason to say no in the beginning. It's something that we struggle with here as well. From the very beginning, I hear that you're shopping. Is that true? If you know that they're shopping, just assume that they're needing your services and kind of go on. If you give her a reason to say no that early, they usually take it every time. He did sound very well versed in the information. He knows his stuff. And so for that, I gave him a 7.
Nice. Excellent job, Shannon. Hey, Shannon, if I could ask, what do you see as the biggest challenge for entrepreneurs?
Having enough people to talk to. For
Ooh.
sure, hand down. Getting enough people to talk to and get your product in front of, especially, being in insurance, we can't necessarily put something out on a website and say, get this auto policy for $50 today. He could very easily put his services out on a website, drive traffic to it, take the application, get them the equipment. But that's still kind of that's an outfit in and of itself. So when you get in front of someone who's interested, you have to absolutely nail your presentation and make that great first impression. Otherwise, it makes your job so much harder. You've really got to train that sales craft as far as, what you're going to say when you get in front of them. And then hands down, you're halfway through the battle.
Yes. And Shannon, what's your dynamic with Clubhouse so far? Anything?
I love it so far. I think still I'm just kind of on the outskirts listening in, but I have quite a commute every day. And I also live in a rural area. So as soon as I get signal, I have it on. It, plays as I'm running in. I absolutely love it. I'm thinking of starting a group, an Oklahoma-based insurance group. I haven't found any of those yet. It's a matter of time at this point of how much time I have to devote to it, but that is definitely on the list for this quarter.
Shannon, do it 5 minutes ago. So we'll lean into that at the end of today.
Yes.
Yeah, we have tons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sean, I've heard of this company, Shannon. You may have heard of it too. I think it's called Unblinded. You may have heard of it. What they actually specialize in is how to get in front of your ideal clients in massive ways like nobody else is doing. I'll see if I can get you some information about that company when we're done.
Thank you.
Back to you, Sean.
Amazing. All right. You're too funny, Bella. Thank you. So Carol, how are you? No shark attacks and Newsom murder since we started. Is that correct?
Correct. We're still safe here.
Excellent. So what do we have for Andrew, please?
For Andrew, I see a lot of the same things that Shannon and Elizabeth had brought up. I think it was great because Julia expressed a couple of concerns that I think he did, really address right away, so that would be a non starter, as far as you don't have to worry about those things. I liked how he reiterated his experience, how long he's been in the business, and all of those kind of things. The only thing that I could find that I thought toward the end of their conversation is I felt like Julia was taking a little bit more control of the conversation at the end there. And I'm guessing that kind of happens in that industry anyway, because of course they're going to interview their person who they want to be a business manager. But I think in the first part, as far as connecting and everything, he did really
And
great.
what's your score, Carol?
I would say an 8 as well.
Nice. Thank you. How about for Zachary?
For Zachary, I want to commend him for being in the businesses he's in. I'm talking about sharks. Woo! That's a tough business to be in, credit card processing. But I really liked how he asked permission to ask her some open-ended, some of the questions that he asked. He didn't just jump right into it. He did ask permission to do that, and that he repeated back, what I hear you saying was this, and these were your concerns. So I thought that was really great.
And your score is?
Give him in between the two, a 7.5.
Nice. Excellent job. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Elizabeth. We're ready for round 2. We're going to reverse the order. Zachary, Dr. Bella is back. There was like craziness that was happening, but it's all set. She's done with her oral surgery and ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Take us in.
Hi, Zachary. I'm back.
Hi, how are you, Dr. Bella?
I am extraordinary. How about yourself? Thank you so
Very
much for your
well.
patience. I really appreciate it.
No, that surgery sounded very important. I'm happy that your client is doing much better. Well, I hope he's doing much better.
Yes, thank you.
So I was just wondering if you had given any thought to our discussion earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. What do you think makes you, like, why would I want to choose you over your competitor?
Absolutely. So what some of our clients are saying is that we offer some of the best customer service in-house. You get your own personal customer, dedicated customer service representative. And as you had pointed out, you were looking for price. You won't be paying for processing, so there's nothing better than that.
Yeah. So wait, I'm not paying for it and I get cash back. I can put the 3% to my clients?
Correct.
Is that what
So
I'm hearing?
Correct. So
okay, so why wouldn't people, like, why doesn't everybody come to you? Because this, like, seems like a dream opportunity. This, like, seems like a no-brainer. So why aren't you, like, taking all of the credit card processing? And how do you make money?
So we still make money on the back end. That's how we make our money, through the banks. However, the reason that people are not flocking to us is because, number one, we're not the only ones in town doing this. And number two, a lot of people are scared to charge their customers the credit card fee. We say that you should give it 30 to 90 days, and we guarantee that you'll be satisfied. However, it's
I like guaranteed satisfaction.
Yep. So yeah, and it's a risk-free trial that we offer, but again, it's not for every business owner, and we like to make sure that we're a good fit before we sign somebody on.
Awesome. Well, let's give it a try.
All right, sounds good.
Excellent.
Satisfaction guaranteed, Sean Callaghan.
Always. Here we go. So Zachary, how'd that feel for you?
It felt okay. Again, a little awkward, but it felt okay.
All right.
We'll see what the judges say.
Excellent work, my friend. Andrew, Julia is back and she's intrigued. She's liking the Zeus energy dynamic of like, hey, listen, I love you, heart center, but I'm going to set you straight if this isn't a good decision. Because Julia, we don't want you to end up like Kim Basinger, like owning a town and then going bankrupt. Right, Andrew?
Kim was a client of mine years ago.
and she should have listened to you.
When she bought the town, actually.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God. Hand to God.
This is unbelievable.
The only reason she stopped being a client was because of Alec Baldwin.
That is unreal. So I have the unique privilege of speaking on Tony Robbins' stage. I've spoken there 10 times, and I'm aligned in their organization, et cetera, et cetera. And Tony tells that story all the time at Business Masters. He goes through like Kim Basinger, Mike Tyson, people who accumulated a massive income, but also had enormous challenges. So Andrew, it is so fun to have you here. That's unbelievable. So yeah, Julia's back, and please, she's thinking about buying a town. She didn't want me to tell you. So Julia, you're back.
Hey, Andrew, I am back. I just got off a call to buy an island.
Wow. Where is this island and how much are you looking to spend on it?
It's in the British Virgin Islands. It's about 60 million, and I'm looking to kind of create my own like town.
Well, I'd have to look at your net worth, Julia, to see if that's a reasonable amount of money to spend. And also, what is the income proposition of owning that island? What do you intend on doing with it?
I intend on, maybe having some mastermind events, maybe like, having people like come to the island and host events and things like this.
Well, I'm sure you have read about some of your colleagues who have gotten in deeper than perhaps they should have, no matter how much money they've made in their career. I mean, I'm sure you've read about the recent exploits and foibles of Johnny Depp. And that's what comes to mind when I hear somebody wanting to spend $60 million on an island. So
I don't actually know about this. I probably should, since, he's a colleague of mine, but what's the quick and dirty about this?
Quick and dirty is he owns too many houses and too much land and spends irresponsibly. He's somebody that, quite honestly, I would have fired as a client. I've done that in my career. I don't want to keep clients who don't want to take reasonable advice. I find that, you're better off representing the right kind of people who are actually to take your advice and follow it straight and narrow. Not that I don't want you to do what you want to do, but it's got to fit with your ability to earn and your ability to afford. And I don't want you to get into a problem where you spend more than you really should of your net worth.
I really appreciate that, Andrew, because what I'm hearing is that you don't want to stifle my dreams, but you want me to help me make responsible decisions because you don't want me to end up like Johnny Depp.
Absolutely. I want to make sure that if it's something that you can accomplish, I help you accomplish it. If it's something that isn't right for you, I'm going to tell you that. And I'm going to do it that way because that's the way I've done it for 40 years and it served me well and it served my clients well.
Got it. Well, I'm definitely interested in seeing where else we could go with this.
Well, what else can I tell you today, Julia? I'd really like to get you as a client, and I need to know what it is I can do to help you make that decision.
Well, I definitely, it's something that I, definitely want to think about, kind of weigh out the pros and cons of moving everything over. And maybe that's something we could sit down and have a longer conversation about.
Well, I'm sure we can make it easy for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Julia, excellent work. I heard, though, that island comes with Sean Callaghan as a speaker. Did you ever hear that?
I did hear that. That's the bonus program. You have to pay extra for that.
What we're joking about is Bella was talking about Buck Island in the British Virgin Islands, which Bella and I went to, and we were actually the opening speakers on the island. It's a private island in the Caribbean. So, Andrew, this is like an amazingly hysterical bunch of access points. So, great job, man. That was really good.
Well, as long as she's not buying Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Yes. That is not happening. So,
no, I just watched that documentary. It's very disturbing.
To be sure.
But let's move on.
Yes, let's. So, Bella, I was thinking that since we had the fun access of like Clubhouse and advancing entrepreneurship, that Shannon, would you mind stepping into a role play for a second and giving me permission to be you for a moment?
Sure.
That work for you?
Ooh, you're
Okay.
switching things up. This is going to be fun.
Yes. Okay. So Shannon, who do you think would be your ideal partner, ecosystem partner for launching a show on Clubhouse?
Oh man, probably specifically maybe an independent mortgage broker.
I love it. Shannon knows her stuff, Bella. So yes, how about you are the independent mortgage broker, right? But how about this? I have an interesting idea. How about you are the leader of an organization of independent mortgage brokers? What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, so, and we'll make your name Jill. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, Jill, thanks so much for taking the call. It's Shannon. Do you still have that 3 minutes?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, wow. Thanks so much. And I really appreciate that you're the leader of this amazing organization. And if I could ask this, I know that you still have your own brokerage and you're the leader of this organization. How do you balance the two, and what's the ultimate vision for you?
It definitely takes a village. We've grown so quickly. You know, we've gone from me handling everything to now we have a large team of people. So we just all work together and keep the wheels on the tracks.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. But what's the ultimate vision? So, for you in entrepreneurship and leadership, what's your dreams?
My dreams are to partner with various different groups, almost create an affinity base where we know that if we want to go work with retired teachers, we have an outlet for that. If we want to work specifically towards small business owners, we have an outlet for that. So the same way that I've developed my group of independent contractors, we want to network across the state with similar groups to kind of broaden our base and have those touch points with as many people as possible with similar interests.
Wow, extraordinary. And final question, I know we have a minute and a half to go and you have to jump, but I really just love to know what's on people's hearts. So I hear growth, I hear beautiful vision of acceleration, but why? What drives you? What's your heart all about?
Absolutely. I've had experiences in the past where we have just been sold on things over and over, and maybe it wasn't the best, decision at the time. So personally for me, my goal is to get people into what's right for them and what's for their situation. So we're not going to pigeonhole someone to, a certain lender, a certain carrier, because that's what we're being paid to offer. Awesome. We want to make sure that we're branching our wings wide enough that we can actually offer what's going to be helpful to you, not what's helpful to our company.
Jill, I'm hearing integrity, flag in the ground, selflessness. I feel it in your leadership. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in our final minute, can I share a little bit about me and thoughts for perhaps a longer meeting?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So again, my name is Shannon. I stand for entrepreneurship. And I believe in Main Street. I believe in people. I believe in the American dream. I believe in capitalism. And I believe in integrity. And there's a platform that's recently come up that I think a lot of people misunderstanding. And, I was in this show and I met some of these people and I was sort of understanding a little bit more about what they're doing. And one of the takeaways that I had was this, that Clubhouse is the most extraordinary open platform that's being misused by so many people. They're thinking linearly, two-dimensionally, and it really creates a limitless possibility for interactive dynamics and teaching people how to create leverage and expand. And everybody, with Facebook doing all the things it's doing, everybody's looking for a free platform, not just free monetarily, but one where you can create access and acceleration. And I have a thought and a plan. And what I'd love to do is spend about a half an hour with you. And I get the dynamics and the appropriateness of how people can leverage their time and create mutual value through relationship. Because everything is about relationship, and all relationship is created obviously through shared experience, Jill. The question is, how do you spend the least amount of money, time, and energy in shared experience? And it's here. So what I'd love to pursue, see if we're aligned, is a conversation about how to launch on Clubhouse, a speaking platform, training people in the mortgage industry, people in the entrepreneurial world, people in the space of insurance, how to leverage and utilize Clubhouse as a mechanism to drive their business forward and assemble audiences while at the same time building their primary business. So is that a conversation that resonates, or how do you feel about that?
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. So awesome. So would it be okay if I followed up with you tomorrow at blah, blah, blah? Done.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah. How did that feel for you out of role? How did that feel for you, Shannon?
It's good. I mean, honestly, it's been something that's kind of just been lingering on my to-do list, mainly because, we don't know how to approach it. Our main focus is, sell, sell, sell. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
forefront of our industry. So we're a small operation, and it's kind of me doing most of the work at this point. So it's literally just about, making the time, devoting the time, and having that exact same conversation to move forward. I mean, you can only do the same thing so often. At some point you get to the plateau, and this is what it would take, to breach past that.
Well, thank you for that role play. Thank you for the permission to play you for a second. And Bella Verita, how'd that feel for you?
That was amazing. Sean, it's always incredible to hear you, do the role play or the magic trick, and just the value that you create, because like in what was just demonstrated with Shannon and what's possible for her in Clubhouse is something that everybody can take away. And it's not just limited to her. And that, hello to yes conversation really, is something that anybody can learn and do. And it's absolutely incredible and impactful. Thank you.
And by the way, just real quick, so I don't want to distort our identity, right? We are not purveyors of like, okay, our business is teaching people how to use Clubhouse. For 3 weeks, we're telling our client base, do not go on Clubhouse. Do not waste your time other than like micro distinctions. And we spent 3 weeks in R&D on how to leverage the platform effectively and integrally. And it's unbelievable. P.S. During COVID, you want to talk about business meetings, we launched this company. I own a 125-person law firm. I also own Unblinded. We had a pandemic occur right after our first 1,500-person event in January of 2020. And we only launched the current program we have in May, only through online. No digital paid advertising, no funnels, no nothing. And we have 200 sales meetings a month with people integrally created, like intentionally and integrally created, leveraging speaking and value add. And that's how I met Bella. So yes, let's drop in with what the judges think of our amazing participants. So let's go in reverse order. Carol, what do you have for Zachary, please?
Zachary, I really like how he went right back to addressing the customer service issue that she had brought up before, as well as then, of course, hitting the nail on the head with the price again. It did sound like a big no-brainer. The only thing I probably would have left out of what you said was we're not the only company that does this. Because I would give her an opportunity to say, well, let me look at some of the other companies and go that way. But other than that, I think I'd give you an 8.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. What did you have for Andrew, please, Carol? Countdown 25 seconds.
First of all, I really liked the close, Andrew. It was fantastic. You went right in and said, hey, what do we need to do to schedule that next meeting? I think I really loved how it seemed like you just asked her all the right questions, and that just comes from your experience in the industry. And that you really related it to her peers and other people that she could relate to herself. So I think it really, it really portrayed a lot of honesty and integrity.
And your score is?
I would say a 9.
Nice. Excellent. Carol, I'm so happy you stayed safe today on the Real Raw with the shark dynamics of New Smyrna. Of course, I'm joking. Thank you for being here. How was your day today on the Real Raw?
It was fabulous. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I was really glad I wasn't on the hot seat like the contestant.
So it's interesting though, right? When we phrase things like on the spot or the hot seat, how that reflects upon our dynamics of like human stuff and fear of failure, fear of rejection. And, there's a lot there to unpack for all of us. Because that every day people say that, it's like, hey, what if it wasn't a hot seat? What if it wasn't like on the spot? And what if all we're doing is adding value with people? So thank you so much, Carol, for sure. Shannon, what do you have for our fine participants?
For Andrew, I gave him a 10. I love the way he did tie it in emotionally back to her, painted a picture of what could happen. even made the comment, I want it to do what you want it to do. But he's making it a financial decision as opposed to an emotional decision by showing her an emotional outcome. So that was definitely great. The close was great. For Zachary, and it's going to sound harsh, I'm giving you a 5. And please know, I love you. I would hire you in a heartbeat if you want to move to Oklahoma. You're hands down better than most of our candidates. But she was asking all the questions, and your answer seemed a little bit scary, whereas I feel those are probably going to be everyone's questions. If you can anticipate those, and instead of saying things like the competition doesn't know, or they're afraid to use it, or we're not the only ones, you could preface that by saying, listen, we're not the only ones who do this. However, we are the first ones to do it in this way because the competition is scared to take these risks, or because we've managed to, be on the forefront of this in some way. Overall graded, the score probably seems harsher than it is, but I feel like with a very simple, those are going to be the concerns. You could very easily turn that around and
Absolutely.
present them before they get asked.
Well, thank you, Shannon. Amazing job today. Really appreciate all your feedback. And it was fun having you guys here. How was your day today on the Real Raw?
It's been great. I appreciate it. This was very exciting. We didn't know it was happening, but I'm glad we made it work.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth, thank you for being here. And by the way, Elizabeth, if somebody's like, I don't know, like heard this thing Real Raw, should I go on it or not? What would you tell them?
Absolutely, without a doubt, go on there. I literally had 7 minutes notice and and was having technical difficulties getting on. But as I sit here and watch it, and just when you did the role play with Shannon, everything that's going through my mind is all relationships. It is absolutely all relationships, because when you're selling somebody, you're really not. You're solving an issue that they have. And just the platform to give these two people the opportunity to hone their skills before they go out and start doing it in the real world, or to enhance what they're already doing. It's invaluable information, and just to be a part of it, I'm so thankful. The only thing it's not really a gripe, but the only stab in my heart is everybody in Clubhouse is only for iPhone users, and I'm still so mad about that.
Get yourself one, girl.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, it is the frontier.
Both Androids.
Yes, it is the wild frontier. So I couldn't, listen, it's not the only solution, right? But there's a lot of opportunity there right now.
Absolutely.
It's extraordinary. And definitely the optimal thing to do is not to sit in big rooms forever. Like there's so much opportunity. So thank you so much for being here. And we are approaching our 500th episode of the Real Raw.
Wow.
500th, just since COVID began. And this was all assembled as sort of like, we have a TEDx dynamic when Real Raw opens. And so thank you for being on what we call the big show today on short notice. We had a couple of dynamics occur. Really appreciate it very much, Elizabeth. And what do you have for our fine participants, Zachary and Andrew?
For Andrew, I gave him a 9. Because I always feel that there's room to improve for anything, but he's spot on everything that he did. Absolutely nailed the closing. I like that he started offering her the opportunity to take a look at her net worth to make sure it was a good buy for her. So that builds trust just in a conversation, and just to show that he's just not in it for the money. He even mentioned that he's fired others in the past. So I love that approach.
Awesome. Excellent work. And how about for Zachary?
For Zachary, again, he can't, everything they both said, but he comes across a little bit nervous and afraid. He knows his product. It is absolutely a great product. And I haven't heard of the things that you're saying is available for the no fees, but to be able to charge the credit card fees back to the person, you want to come across as the authority because you know it. Don't let them ask you all the questions. I gave him a 6 on this go round.
Excellent. Like great heart, Zachary. Awesome job. Thank you so much for being here, Elizabeth. And how about you, Zachary? How was your day today on the Real Raw? My feedback to you, brother, is as Elizabeth was mentioning, you're so heart-centered. You're such a caring person. Just being your heart-centered strength, confidence, and certainty, which doesn't require like amped energy. It could just be certain. You know your stuff. You know your stuff, and people need integrity in what you're doing. And the feel that I have is you deliver that, and just let people receive that from your strength. Make sense?
It does. Thank you very much for the feedback. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And how was your day here, Zachary?
I really enjoyed it. I honestly wasn't expecting to be here until like a few minutes before the meeting. So it was cool. It was nice. I was actually invited I was supposed to be in another meeting, and I was invited by someone from a group that I'm in, and he didn't really give me that much information on what this was about. So it was very surprising, and I liked it.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Zachary. Appreciate you. And Andrew, as for you, 10s are super rare on the Real Raw, like period. We've done hundreds of these now, the Real Raw, and you're outstanding. So how was your day here today?
Well, it was quite enjoyable. I want to focus on a couple of things Elizabeth said about there's always room for improvement, and that it's an opportunity to hone your skills. And I felt like this was a good exercise to do that. I've been doing this a long time, but I always feel you can be better. And I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, sir, you are a genius and a master at what you do to be working with the types of folks that you are, and you are exhibiting an extraordinary level of mastery. And we thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate all the judges' remarks and appreciate you having me on as a guest.
Thank you. Speaking of mastery, there's the sales sorceress, Bella Verita. Final, what's happening?
Yes, sir. It was extraordinary to be back again today in this talent hotbed. And, final is, I think you gave some extraordinary feedback to Zachary. And I love what Andrew said about there's always room for improvement. And I can't think of a better place to practice and in a talent hotbed other than Unblinded. And we have Zachary, you have like the 30 days to influence mastery to learn the formula that Sean actually did today. And you know what, Sean? I think we do this thing on Monday nights where we actually talk about that. That's true, right?
That is true. You know what I was thinking, Bella, too? Because we have never said this before. I think especially this group, Shannon, like that jumps particularly. We're on Clubhouse every morning now at 9 a.m. Teach literally me coaching my own ecosystem partners, Bella being one of them, right?
Yep.
With the things that we do each and every day, people in the financial world, people in the insurance world, people in the legal world, accounting world. So if you guys want to come in on even tomorrow morning, we are like 5 wide receiver set. Our room we just started 5 days ago. We had 100 people in there this morning, or 90, 93, and it's growing like crazy. And the idea isn't to listen to us passively. It's to bring in people that you want to create these kinds of partnerships with that we're speaking about with Shannon. So don't check it out. There's no place like it on Clubhouse. The feedback we've been receiving has been mind-numbing. So Bella, maybe the team could drop in the chat where to find us at that as well.
Yeah, so definitely, on Clubhouse at 9 a.m. And then on Monday night, we do what is the Unblinded, what is Real Raw. So I definitely recommend coming to that because that's where he breaks down this whole formula and how to do, these things. So definitely come check us out on Monday night. Definitely come check us out on Clubhouse because there is a formula for going from hello to yes with integrity-based human influence. And I just thank everyone for being here. And thank you so much, Sean, for having me here today. It's been absolutely extraordinary to be back and just, be in this talent hotbed. So thank you for having me.
You were missed. Andrew, Zachary, thank you guys for your courage and vulnerability today. Elizabeth, Shannon, Carol, thanks for the incredible feedback. This is an awesome group of people today. Appreciate you with all our hearts because Bella, we are all blind.
And just learning to see.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
And just, Shannon, real quick to answer your question on